we have one more rational graph to look at. So this is 8.2 part 2. So we're still, this time, our learning target, we're going to graph rational functions in the form you have a polynomial that looks like a linear function in the numerator and the denominator, and these. So on these, you're going to find the vertical asymptote by, you take the denominator and you set it equal to 0. So by setting the denominator equal to 0 and solve for x, that'll give you the number that would give you a 0 in the denominator, which would make the vertical asymptote. The horizontal asymptote you find by the fraction of these numbers right here. It's just going to be whatever the number is in the A position divided by whatever the number is in the C position. This will be your horizontal asymptote. And then you're going to do the same thing that you just did. Pick points or x values to the right and left of the vertical asymptote. And to plug in and then plot these points. Okay, so then you're going to draw in your branches, just like we've been doing. And we'll state the domain and range. Okay, so let's try an example of this one. We're going to graph. Oops, sorry, this is supposed to be a 4x. 4x minus 2 over x minus 1. Okay, alright, so our vertical asymptote, we take the denominator, which is x minus 1, and we set it equal to 0, and we solve for x. So I'm going to add 1 to each side, and so our vertical asymptote will just be x equals 1. Our horizontal asymptote, we have a 4, and then we have a 1 right here. So we make those numbers in front. Those are called the leading coefficients. We make them into a fraction. And so 4 over 1 is just the same as 4. Alright, so let's make our graph grid and draw in our asymptotes. So our vertical asymptote is at x equals 1. And our horizontal asymptote is at y equals 4. Okay. And I'm going to need to extend this up here. Okay, so now we're going to pick points. We can make an XY table and pick points for x that are to the right and the left of the vertical asymptote. So I'm going to do -1 and 0 to the left, and then I'm going to pick 2 and 3 to the right. We can't pick x equals 1. Alright, again, so you're always plugging in for x. So if I'm going to plug in -1, I would get 4 times -1 minus 2, and then I'd get -1 minus 1. So that'd be -4 minus 2 over -2. -6 over -2 will give me -3. So remember, you're always plugging in for the x value. And I'm going to fill in the rest of this. Alright, so let's plot our points. -1, -3 would be right here. 0, 2 would be right here. I have a math mistake right here. You guys might have already caught it. This is supposed to be +3. So I knew I had a mistake when I put that point down there. Alright, so this one is not right. It should be -1, +3 right here. And then let's just draw in our branch. Okay, now let's plot 2, 6, 2, 6, and 3, 5. And again, we can draw in our branch. Okay, now domain, all reals, but x can't be 1. Can't be where that asymptote is. Range, all reals, but y can't be 4. So the domain and range on these rational functions are very easy because everything is going to work except for where those asymptote values are. Okay, so that's the end of part 2.